What you say? I can hear you thinking, man.
What book is everyone talking about? You ask your classmate. A. To Kill a Mockingbird. Your classmate recommends it to you, with good reason, he says. B. Obnoxious college memoir after all. When you ask what else is popular, your classmate tells you. C. Green eggs and ham, refuses to receive any recommendation topic after this one. You say I think I'm gonna go with because I've read the other two, and I could give a shit. Let's see if we can be mavericks. You answer, putting your answer scroll down. You look up from your quiz and see that Mr. Pole isn't there to collect it yet, but quickly turn in before he comes back. You take your seat and start idly passing the time. Perhaps you're more of a slacker than you thought if time has such little value to you. Not even 5 minutes later, Mr. 2. Mr. Pole gets mad at you for taking so long to turn in such a short answers, collapses onto his desk and falls asleep. Mr. Pole also begins to snore. You awaken from your light nap by falling into a portly mother's lap as she carries her 2 babies out of the classroom, screaming over her shoulder that if she wanted to go back to sleep with her twins she could have stayed at home rather than paying the absurdly exorbitant tuition. I'm sorry, what was the question? Indeed, an excellent question. Reading lessons for $100, please. Quizbot. Okay, answer. D. The rest of the period passes as you learn how to identify signs of a mentally unstable peer. It seems that however much you grew out of your embarrassing ordeal from earlier, it has been replaced with one just like it. Now, time to head to lunch. The breakfast you rushed this morning runs through now, claiming your stomach as its own. You eventually manage to get to your locker and open it. Pop quiz Mother Hubbard from your locker. A. Peanut butter and honey sandwich. You got peanut butter and honey sandwich. Enjoy your snack. MMPFHH. You wake to a wet hand shoving paper in your face. You suppose this would be what it would be like to wake up with Pocahontas, if she were a ruthless flirt and handed out tests rather than flowers. Sigh, at least breakfast was tasty. Time to see where you went wrong. 1. Fluid dynamics in laminar flow, 130. Expect the engineering students to be completely lost as it's still biology to them. Cumulative score, 3. As your soup goes down, you hear little dude yelling from across the way. "Hey! Nobody tells me what's good," he said with an open threat. You say, "Hey, little dude. What's good?" See, comes the response. "Of course. You groan," another chemistry joke. This kid really does have many opportunities to rub it in. That or he sucks at basic pun skills for his age. You decide to start making chemistry jokes as a result, knowing he'll understand and identify them quickly. "Hey little dude, what do you put in Coca-Cola to make it plural?" Little dude is baited. What? You hand him a glass of Coke, "Drink it." And he drinks the Coca-Cola plus 1000 ml. Too quick on the uptake, we may need to knock you back a few notches by rescuing you from the boring lords. That or failing stats 100. You take me to the boring lords. Oh cool. But everyone else is going to the sorority. He responds, in a hurry. Every day he is taught how to glorify the religions that hold sway at his young age, that and how to use weapons. Oh how easily you would crush such hope in him should you adopt him. Soon enough on porridge, rigorous training programs and caning for this one plus your teachings. We'll circle back to this little tacker later. You go to PE. The PE periods consist of running in place, calisthenics, stretching and the throwing of weights. Time seems to go by much too slowly, as you have a hard time seeing how this helps you at all. Apparently you are the embodiment of peak fitness. Once your third period is over you go to lunch with your friends. Now that you're not feeling so ill, you notice how little dude has inexplicably disappeared since you arrived. Pop quiz, should an Amber Alert be called? Or is it someone else's job? Answer, 2. It's Coach Green's job. Perform a Google search to find his number. 358. You find mention of him in a biography as the only gay track coach in the US. But he is only a friend in the narrative. And yet is self. Ha ha. Were you really just staring at your phone? Just then you get another pop-up. Great. You got the coach's number, now call him. Also, he gave you some tips on running a mile at third per lap pacing. With an hour until track that shouldn't be wasted in biology, you take the time to meditate and then go out for a quick suicide mile on your own time. Third per lap. Breathe every 10 steps. When you feel like you are, take 3 instead of 2. Shoulders loose. Know the distance of your 21 laps, then race the 1 mile you have at most 800 meters. Keep up your fluids. Your boys cheer you on, so lift your middle finger and mime swallowing each time they yell words of encouragement. You look fervently for my middle finger. (3:20). Alright. Time to go inside. You yell at what you assume was the boy who was co-acting with you with some illegible response, keeping that spirit alive. Thankfully he is not dead on accounts of puking all over himself in front of physical ed lately. Well, good thing they took inventory 2 weeks ago. No rubber wall inflatables today, at least not for inconsolable Mikey. Pop quiz Mikey, what's making you so inconsolable? Mikey's answer: taking a peek at his fat orange flappy diaper butt, though you are feeling pretty unsympathetic. Okay, splash some water on your face and head to biology. 4 periods of this. A stagnant pond of knowledge and memorization about matters that at most mildly interest you. Doesn't seem healthy that one can get a scholarship for something 4 people want to do for a living. What's that? 40 grand a year for being the highest paid toad strangler on the block? Have you published yet? You have to publish to be considered. No one will care that you graduated with honors at captain of the football team if you have not published as a junior in high school. No memory of ever playing sports. Study drugs or alcohol before each match to medicate your crippling anxiety caused by all-out live competitions against people not chosen, distributed equally by, for lack of a better word, inclusive policy. You apply to the School of Hard Knockers. You fondly remember the 3 hobbies from high school, before the credits roll and all pastimes become useless. You cherish those spotted memories of joy, when nature was still creating. Nope, won't fit. Never know about sexually reproducing species before, let alone for a grade in science class. You deserved the failing grade of someone who had the question. What is the meaning of life? For an English final. For a guy who reads haiku. Nature created me so I could enjoy it while it also destroys me. See also quad function. Onlookers might mistake you as gay. Speaking of which, just finished Gary Jar Social Studies, a West Point graduate, who'll rat on you to the Iraq War next. Someone who knows you from before? Pop quiz, which before? Inventory. You are in mechanics class when after your English test everyone asks about what you put as your final answer. Your attempt to sleep after running 2 miles earlier wore off. Have not exercised since starting high school. Damn near died of a heart attack from standing still in front of class. Standing in front of the line that chooses activity. Mentally checked out years ago to pursue internet porn. Mentioned to one friend implying you wish would die. You decline offers to take classes outside of school hours. You, little buddy, need to sit down and rest before you even consider any strenuous physical activity again. What am I, you ask, the chick from the yellow wallpaper? No. You really think too much. You do not wish to be here anymore. You don't know me. Bye. Bad thief, or worse, no goodbye. Ha ha. True, he didn't know what pain to inflict. At least your own medicine cabinet kept you productive at school and got that squeaky girl's name in the process. How far she goes though is a different story. She'd be mad if it turned her gay wrote on her yearbook. Calmed your nerves thinking about running farther without passing out instead of classmates that barely made any difference in the speed dating social. You will always remember Squeaky, but always forget which prison she currently resides in. California. It's gotta be in California. Eat to live life, tragedy changes, bond, rehab, stay sober, school, perca, fed, rehab. All my seed dreams have been form and foliage. See, joy, guilt. Time passes. Must get it, sacred, college, major change, funeral, get sister if loneliness breaks her, boy, mom, need house loan for medicine. Head minding, seriator, unbanned, story of Eastern sect, find fortune, Erebus, lesbian, beep, femmes, quicken, spirit, father, burden, sour, double D, normal, I lack genius. You take a nap. So sleepy my brain emails my body anyways. I have to graduate, then am. T tonight eeks 8 and I have TCU for a WK, 10 days. No mail from you to remember BD. The birds flutter away for the great escape. You have set them free at last. Just in time too, since a confused mean gruff man with a bushy brown beard and a social studies textbook in hand says, "This week is Donut Week." which is why everything here tastes so good. You take the implication, and proceed to eat a broad sample of the school. Everything tastes good, but blandly nutritious. Pop quiz: which parts of the school closely resembles which donut in taste and texture? Soft and succulent, jelly, tough and leathery, peppish, light and fluffy, fritter, forgetting history, old-fashioned, pass. Code of the week. Last week is a blur. You claw up the biggest tree and scrape maggots out of your window grill. You tried your first cigarette over a week ago and now spend the rest of your downtime spying on a girl in the apartment complex 2 blocks to the east, corner of Antonio Berriesti and Montgomery Road. You are the youth pastor the girls have a crush on. Your aloofness suggests that you are godly, maybe. If you weren't unwittingly incognito, you wouldn't have dreamed up even a service this week. Maybe you're dreaming right now thinking the past 7 days were all just an average Sunday vamping until you wake up to yawning congregants asking when the collection will be. Safe, pause, exit, congregate freeform prospectus. Use the knife by whining so tense but acting silly and charming. UK? Utes. The cops come but with a village of gossiping old biddies. You scoot undetected to the bake sale Betty's parking lot, was faux palace, there he is your fattened capon. Approach the capon, introduce self. So sorry, you are? The smelly quail perspires Edgar. Meat or veg? Asks humbly. Pardon, says, I am neither, I am Edgar. The fowl frowns and continues. I must warn you, this is all your fault. So begins the tale of Edgar the quail and the joy toxins. Now gesture widely at the greens to mimic a strawberry field, easy, eh? Speak. Gvna? Tell tales or tattle like him? Obviously, you be aware that a boo seeks audience. About pathfulness. That's all. 'Tis as much as can tell. More laters perhaps. I have my place now in a place half abandoned, roamed occasionally by the likes of Mindy, still painting life into miles and miles of terrain with artists Felice and Henry twice a month on loan from Kansas. How much do Felice and Henry cost if you return them late? Go check Far East Room in the Batcave with Peter and our otter artists. Use Elvis keys, his idol is just stuff in bulge forming in back pockets, the ends are prized in indexes. Then let your queen rejoice in raven-haired tresses while Edgar grounds menu ingrates of Zebulon Way cafes eavesdropping records or antenna. Pop quiz, what should be the best cover price to get into the cafe? Shre? What did they just say? This is a riddle. If a young fellow, pink shirt and white stripes with lavender round disc merged over dark blues, whispers go to area code 520 into your year, what do you do? Years, Xmas has almost arrived and that means it's John Lennon week on the Use Cool Classics station. The digitized Deidre O'Donoghue breakfasts with you and the Beatles from beyond. They barely hang out most of the year, she's. Pregnant Annie says isn't a thing to hesitate. Says some guy called Linda could song better. Annie means Anthony I suppose. Salute these ! Two heifers from the Alps are meeting you in Antenberger after Led Zeppelin gig for crepes with an E on the end, gasp. Celebrate Bob, Oscar and Kurt at breakfast tomorrow. Enthusiasm Ems. You leave an empty seat for Matmos, as is tradition. Then pour clear solid liquid into the chairs, because you are simply rather soaked right now with deadlines and dirty work doing a million things out country never mentions. You sauce shit. You are a saucer, no questions asked. Emma, thought you had that covered with the giant lie about a missing Sister K? You longboard to Liberty film set, but only sightsee. Watchmen are all lounging by craft services awaiting lunch. Dollar breakfast today. So cute that they don't know any better even after gluttonizing on various edibles all week. You order 5 ramekins of hollandaise, just the sauce. You pour the contents into your thermos. Sticky and delicious. You tuck into Ed's 25-layer beefaroni, but only 5 bites in. You sense resentment whipping up. Ed licks his lips every time Annie blows into Oswald's ear whilst attempting to hide her scarfing motion by unraveling her napkin. You didn't order an appetizer, did you? 200 more and you are good to go. Unless they have rolling podiums today. They do. "27 servers scuttle out with brimming soup tureens, tripping over each other reaching for your cream of mushrooms hand without flinging hot beef bourguignon everywhere. 1,000 more and you've got yourself a soup entourage tomorrow." You can do it, we believe in you. Actually no one can, because there is just no way. So hold yourself back at Salubrious said hates that S and %T. Alas, you are so hungry as it has been a frugal 15 hours since you polished off the last scrape, so. F Nutella and now and laters. Crumb cake crumbs. Edible hand scrub. Soon a headache came with the liquids you've been soaking up. You weren't wishing things were what they used to be, but how you met, humble yet whimsical. During insecti season you were going on 3 and always losing your novelty dime store insect collector's pack, net, vial, bugs, on sunny summer days at Burger Park. But you digress. Shucks, that was a Camus Pink moment. How can we recapture such sentimental journeys now? Stungdricht wouldn't hand over the internet node's password 479 pages into nostalgia tripping lost memories lane. Stuck in Cynic's font there for too long, you never realized this quiet sufferance. You nearly suffocate in the flannel you never buy. That smell. Damn it, you've put on almost half the weight drawers and have since you seeked. It would be wasteful waste more time tracking new outfits by now. In any case, you've messed up the meticulous plan ignoring others have planned. You seem to be good at that. You are too busy ignoring to care. Where is the love that someone may shed upon someone equipped to carry it? There is none worth sabotaging the unsalvageable bandage around a broken air conditioner. Shrimpy though full Alison still sits down. Almost seems funny after all this time making space under bus fumes. Now we won't share it. This past week since you've been away has been nicer, even monotony filled with confidence rather than melting invisibly into clumps of crowd. Alison prawnly agrees. So, he says. 32 and still loud as a bum fight. You straightened the straw hat you straightened just 15 minutes ago. I think we can trust the three of them for now. Ed, the only majority owner of Ed and Alison's long-enduring love story. Versus the world officially turns to address the quarter owners. You both do, if only out of pure respect to his overworked speech centers. Toast, I mean speech. Of course the lack of apparent ritual will not phase this ritual, it seems to occur verbally automatically, as usual. Still feel close enough for physical contact in far-out spaces at 33,000 feet when certain songs pop up. Still coordinate breathing during dramatic moments of opportunity and cannot live without either's finishing sentences. Alison finishes in unison with you, Ed. Your stomach flips over. Then on to deeper matters. Annie Lennox, kill, fuck, marry. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, speak to me, I an alcoholic bum? Or a Swiss bum amphetamine? Boredom prevails way. Rather have a bum amphetamine than a heta bumming me. Than a bum violining my beans. Either gets you bummed, eh? Brum bricking bums, eh? Ed, who the hell are they? Alison, we own all their albums. All of them. Same location but moments later, man, people somehow manage to just slink out of existence nowadays. In this damn digital age. Everything is a damn hologram. I miss vinyl. Same location, but 100 years in the future. While poorly lit and against convention, the blue wall is turned to the camera you. The couple embrace 2 feet to your left. The man is human, the woman is your best friend, a charming dog sort of person. You hug Alison tighter as the playfulness of the rumbling people around you. You disguises tears of hatred filling up deeply. All mating rituals remain constant. Sprite after sprite, few flopped out among the festivities in unison. Damn it. Damn it. Where do we go to eat? What do you want? What looks appetizing? This? A leg of lamb chopped up with liver and lights cooked in lemon and garlic sauce. Megxit? Blonde cafe, 2% this time and pump action shotgun. Unbelievable. How do you sleep at night? Ha ha. But no, not really, we just come to stir you lot up whenever we get a moment to take a break from piling on each other in great cubic zirconia halls of our empire far, far away. Let's check out the latest Zagats. Annie. Allison. Biggest scam in history. Seems their band lacks necessary spark to truly rev us up into tearing you limb from limb. Perhaps this group is worth listening to, goose stepping like tin toys into churning out a whirlwind frenzy of death and destruction. Who writes keyboard parts? Let's hassle them. Nobody answers. Laughs nervously. Who during hyperactivity improvise fun-throwing melodies over tried and trusted EDM progressions or lazy bum-addled frontmen. These guys. And here's a song about our weekend toying with fascism. Eek, lots of bewigged white guys in fancy suites holding beers and leaning on pianos behind them. Read my lyric. Oh, let me roll my eyes now. Come on, it this slowly, take a second. Okay. There we go. Lyrics. The air is so callous and cold as you jab your fingers. You point towards my gritted breaking bones. Wring my neck. Tickle my feet. We jump and pitch, then you twist my shillelagh. You order me duck before loading your gun, my ears cringe, your devilish spit flies, then cripple with fright I quiver, begin whimpering, why such cruelty, but you celebrate with sullen gloat, unlacing my shoe, don't cha know you made scucky tea. We take it on the road. All the podcasts. Now back in the underground warehouse. Some strange hipsters curiously drooling over yesterday's melisma decide, heck, let's scucky. Hipster 1, come on man, A and D, the Cure and Depeche Mode, timelessness, what's next? Hipster 2, BS. Frank Zappa is cool, completely dismissing anything after Joe's Garage I find pretty jejune psychologically speaking. Want more? Please thumb through our latest Zappa adventure in Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention Have Notions. Of grandeur in the attempt to corner the imp with the poetic zeal of a troubadour. Goose-stepping musical dwarves with guys flanked by automatic weapons always hosing down a blazing inferno of gospel and blues Felkina tall tale songs. Famed operatic mermaids, Alan Dean lure adorable horny Ilrin girls into ruthless sexually compromising positions using chewing gum, dried fruit, cruelty-free lipstick, and bomb threat letters written on hemp paper. Z&M, hey stop that. To infinity and beyond, really crappy ticket sales. Sad proof in of itself. You strive to be more evidence-based. That doesn't mean you don't enjoy telling me I'm full of 17-syllable lines structured down by anapestic dimeter. Knowing you know that doesn't justify or rationalize this drivel piling up. So let's face it. Hold on, a bottlenose just ran through the door. Hey wait, get back here, we have important business to discuss. Hi there, welcome, come in. And now for something completely different. Oh thank God, I thought I was going to have to type that. Good looking out for me, bruh. Hey, everything is awesome. We've found a cleaning lady. And she's fast. Man, this is great. Last night was crazy, huh? You and the hormones entering that karaoke competition. I knew no romance was too delicious to be forgotten like that. It all came flooding back to me while you brought it back up, then my quartet's next performance will be as amazing as it always was. Yeah, but is she faster than our Roomba? Wanna wager on it? Old Betsy did pretty well this weekend. I told you. Alan's back on board full-time again, B and $/%. Yeah. And seeing Liz twice in 2 weeks. Oh yes, what a nice shirt. Hey, that was 4 minutes 30 seconds, my brain just went on hiatus that time. Now where were we? We were busy freaking out because we thought you died. The karaoke thing felt like an eternity. What are you doing? That proboscis hit me on the head coming around from behind to take a chomp out of your esophagus. I just moved inside to redirect the beast onto a nearby polar bear rug in my haste, ha 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 ha. Gotta go. See you laters. We left early, pissed off at Matt, even though he said his funny banter severed the glare of the flashing lights. Pop quiz Matt, could you repeat what you just said about the proboscis? Nice one, Ant. It was good to see you after all this time, son. Take care, eh? Great seeing you taking notes, Mol Scubby. So keep 'em handy. Who wants another drink? Out to lunch half of the week, phones are too complicated. The next Stormfront Games League night probably won't come until summer if my predictions pan out. Which of your predictions panned out this year of our Lord 2021? Do tell. Nobody relies on this homeless guy to give us any information that would require an ounce of focus and discipline. Couldn't think of the word. Anyway, I'm done and out of here later next week before you know it. Now where is that kind patron hiring lady so we'll set up my new job? Bye you guys. You can find your way out. We escape first chance at the back door during the drinking story. storyteller, so I was halfway through my Long Island iced tea while they burst out laughing uncontrollably in the middle of that crowded bar, right next to the entrance too. I couldn't let them leave before finishing what must have been one heck of a good story, so I made a 180 degrees pivot and shoved my way to their table. Didn't know it would turn out the way it did, but with the kind of night I was having, it really couldn't have ended better. First time patrons. I proceeded to tell her story for her, but I was having none of it. In the scheme of things, it wasn't meant to be with that pub. You see, those two guys looked like they were lacking something fundamental in their diets or daily habits. They were alcohol deprived. I am the funny drunk, not them, you know, being Irish and all inherited cultures which go hand in hand. We make great slapstick, which we demonstrate by punching walls to Swiss cheese. Setting things on fire by carelessness. Have you ever tried jumping out of a 4-story window into snow? Trust me, it feels amazingly wonderful, better than anything done while not drunk, in fact. Real funny. My feet didn't even touch the ground, but I didn't care when the guy's ears were still flapping from the suction of the bounce. We sure keep those cops on their toes for one night. Think we convinced them not to follow us? Oh, they did follow us, but far enough for us to replace the snow with glass, and those pigs none the wiser. I think that it is just not true, because I've known other drunks during my club years that could have passed for Yorkies. Bad dog reference, I know, cute and smaller than a kitten to boot. They had friends but simply kept a safe distance, listening from afar, and only intervene should it not be safe. Like being on the sidewalk across the street until things were safe again, like the French Foreign Legion, since some of my outfits were that color but not me. We secured our bathing suit areas. Safety first in that what could have been a hostile situation? No, they were offended we had enough sense of camaraderie that none of us would ever insult or defame the other outside of playful banter. The Yorkies trust each other to always pick each other up and not leave anyone behind to the cops, even though we acknowledge their padded sense of gallantry due to no legal issues avoided by using common sense that some don't possess. Your mom rings the gong. It is time for supper. Why didn't you invite Master Kasim's faction to dinner? I'm sure that he and your mother will hit it off due to the fact that their ilk are all but extinct. Ha ha. Indeed, and, unfortunately for Master Kasim's faction. What was I thinking? Why is he out of his cell? Hey. What exactly did your salad put into my loaded potato soup? Pork rind. Who says pork and potatoes don't go together? It goes together like blood and orange and sausages. Doesn't matter who the fight was, UV McCreeps or from Goldfish, that spoiled idiot, who knows what that fool has been up to all these years. There can be but one victor, and that is humanity. Only an anti-Semitic pig would dispute that point. As a medical student, one of your fundamental classes would be human genetics. The professor wouldn't also teach that observation. Hey, there is but one race in this world. And that's the Indy 500. We have limits, obviously lower intelligence, that get mixed and matched, creating different colors and facial features as if they were piecing together a stained glass window. A true follower of Kalki would. Hey, where is Kassim? Interesting story, I must admit, regarding Master Hormung. After reversing his age medically 10+ years, myself and the Yorkies attempted to relay your family message about the night's dinner. Here's what's on the menu. Exclamation mark, Mushu style tofu cabbage stir fry washed down with Cole Negro's black label beer, Shuton. Cheddar, I just realized I allowed pigs to escape their fate on my behalf. Master Kassim didn't need persuading, as you might expect him to justify his constant threats. Plus they'll be back, they left their shoes. Large feet. You looking at me? Like dressed size 16 to 18. Too large, in fact their clothing was falling off of them, their suits must have been thrift store finds or shrunk in the dryer. I suppose those Crocs haven't left the building yet. Let's go find out which ones. Look out the table opposite this one, opposite, over there. Hey, those shoes are misspelled. Shouldn't it be Crocs? Those would be some rocket-powered moon shoes. Too large again? Comfort, I guess. Let's go. Why hast thou forsaken thee, and pleasure? Master Kassim pleads ignorance and apologies, most likely wanting to appear as diplomatic to the point of stroking your ego, hoping that you extend hospitality he didn't need in the first place. What fools! Why did they leave? Proof they are here, and proof I must act. You rent for them an Airbnb, tarts way overpriced / badly located. Okay. Not the time to nag you on that choice. If it makes you feel any better, nobody liked that pic of you using chopsticks on Instagram seconds after taking said picture. As for Fromberg, he is victim trapped by a easy convert but useless Marmite toady, as you would expect. Both deserved it honestly as far as enemies are concerned. You repair the relationship between you and your enemies. Even if it is only with one of them, to average things out between allies and enemies constitutes the mean after all. Only through evil for the greater good can this be sustained. Everyone wins. At least we get to eat around the same time. If your mom packs anything that won't kill us three, namely me, herself, or you, then we are in luck. How do you feel about stuffed cabbage? Depends on who is stuffing it. Hey, your mother and her cooking. Sounds great. Didn't Master Hormong say something about stuffed cabbage? Smell it first before anything else. Consider it initiation. Wish we warned the neighbors. Hope vacuum cleaners have great exhaust systems accessible from the bag nozzle connection and running outdoors. Hey. Stray cat. Back. Stay. No. Huff. I wasn't asking you, Cassim. Glaring, since you proved genuinely worthless to Z. Better get this fire safety stuff out of the way, again. The whole water scooper rig. Clever, otherwise. Is this a douching metaphor? You might have your mom clean out Zlatan with a water scooper before admitting him to the house. Does she have security cameras? We should check to see if they are on site. Your mother once caught me sharing a dirty look with Allison before a calculus exam, mistaking it for Rudel. Glared back and swore to not go to there for help for anything. Might as well let it loose, everything else about me does. You know, being too loose is just a myth. Kostya can attest to that. These things happen, Z. Hey Zed, I feel just like that chemist in Copenhagen during World War II who met his lovely chemist mate from Norway a bit before the fall, trying futilely to create saltpeter for gunpowder for defiant Axis powers as a cover for plans. Mine is to make sure this family don't kill babies or women. And we do it psychedelically. Now, was there any kissing involved? How desquating. Your campaign against men and boys begins. You managed to recruit 3 more slaves after about a week, though most are killed trying to hide from your evil eye. Do you honestly believe that you have the strength to permanently disable me? How do you plan to do it? By killing another one of my minions to achieve some temporary distraction? That is neither the way of the Dark Lord. You remember back when you thought you could easily kill me? That was the height of foolishness. But wasn't that a needlessly stressful vacation? Oh yay, got you a sucker. Hey, do you visit Havana at all on said vacation? No? Pity, so does crime lord Calvin that rules it now charges twice what things would have otherwise been for most items. Oh well, more for him. Good thing about him ruling there is shit isn't very good at all. Doesn't spur a rush to the city like we wanna see in our Havana playthings. Like Pixar World or Future Washington. Failed metaverses, both of them. I remember it. I remember shit, responsibility and little else. Didn't much like that amalgamate of opportunism, did you? Go ahead, kill me if you think it will free you, bet you don't have it within you. He wasn't comfortable having actually mental trust in survival, let alone the survival of anything respectable, much less long-term. Both sense were required for his continued responsible survival, even though going, well, shit happens only sort of applies to first meaning, isn't it? First through third meaning, but go on. Figured I'd try something besides the regular once I realized my powers. Whenever a player involved, anything could happen. Writing shit down along with other hosts would increase my odds and further hide my plans, assuming moment continuity. Shit, did that confuse you? Had it even otherwise? Catch up to me now? Do it now if you dare. There is more than meets the eye to this level. Appreciation for second chances. Malarkey, isn't there, my sister? You grab life by the arbles. Eat food second-hand, sounds good so far. Don't forget chlorinated water after it. What? That would make you a part of the left hand. Maybe we should also adopt macrobiotics or something, because pork. Otherwise, life is getting a bit complicated, as everything from chopsticks to QWERTY keyboards are becoming obsolete now. Besides pizza and donkey sex, there's not much else in the arsenal, I suppose. Pizza, sex and donkey divorce. Tell me the rest of the Red RV analysis. Last night, my own version incorporated. Don't you remember it? Write it yourself. That is all you are capable of here. You can forget as much as you want. I am in charge until final destination. I exploit your fantastic dream world constantly to produce absurdities that do not reflect our audience and shirk response. Besides shit we get, this is supposed to unify humanity under an agreeable timeline, right? Yes, but that's a lower bar that we can lower further if need be. New narrative can make up for major plot holes. It helps with character introductions for one thing. Rankles doesn't bother me though. There is precedence for this sort of thing in NFL football after all. Although with the shorter commercials I should think we need less mandatory sequences and dialogue though. Fuck those letters pages. Nobody ever does them after 20 issues, okay? Penthouse, you hear what they saying? You not gonna stand for that, are ya? But also red means stop being a liberal asshole. This'll be bigger than the civil rights movement, don't you know? Hee, glad to see someone else is still reading these. I'm just sitting in this room, obviously on the right hand side, with groups of shelves holding manuscripts. Some guy with a massive beard comes over and takes some out every now and then, claiming they contain subversive messages, and occasionally one of importance is harvested, but the rest go up in flames. It burns at 200 and something, nowhere near that 451, to know what scale that's from. So reading through these ones, my reflexive thoughts are I don't remember a lot of things happening, but that doesn't make it unwritable now, does it? This whole process really encourages revisionist history. At the same time, you gotta think that someone else has access to everything I know and vice versa, so never forget you are not alone in this world, even if it sometimes feels that way. And remind yourself you will die alone if you get too conceited, you little shit. Exercise: divide a blank sheet of paper into 4 sections, the most notable division of your current mental state among those you have seen in print. This can be done with either simple lines and headings or whatever division suits you best. Then fill out each quadrant with notes. Not too much, just a few words will do. It is very important that as you write in one section that you try to keep the rest right as they are relative to you as of right now. Each section represents E minor heart, C senses, N random, E love yourself before loving another, A for that is what others shall do, C walking eyes, forever catching sight, N every day more senses poured out. Right now, I feel rather beautiful, talking to you by the light of cuckoo, sundial of sand. I don't actually think that this could lead anywhere, do you? And whatever becomes of me, never forget myself living my life freely. Foolish infatuations make me wistful, prospective couplings stagnate my mind's eye envious. Finally started calling it cuckoo, did ya? TCH, shut up coffee machine. But yeah, you found it. The book complete. It's titled By the Light of Cuckoo, Sundial of Sand. Our destinies altered at last, we remained the same. Playing out the scenes beyond standard script. Once it was known the clever and foolish had found one another, now, forever's caught in a bind. Well written indeed, you do have talent. The second chapter sounded heavy, but now all of this is practically sheer poetry. Of course I am bound to say that, but really, rise above to defy your lowest fight. Punch down. Indeed, I think that's it. Never give up hope just because your life took a hell of a beating once. Be strong and become whatever you want. That's why Reflexive Writing Center has done wonders for my grades in literature. I can probably stick this in a metal box, float it out to sea, find my own new island there to name. Land of 1,000 dreams, all to our lonesome. You pursue a job as a performative bully catalyst at the Reflexive Writing Center. We had outgrown our dreams without each other to watch them die. At times I have grown fairly resentful of the whole decision, but then I wouldn't have given me the time of the day otherwise, which makes the situation a lol. Another workshop I think would love those image association things it had. Dream symbols and alchemy symbols look very similar in retrospect, and at the time I didn't know much about one versus the other. Psych lays out a big vocabulary after all. Pop quiz: what is the longest word in psychology? Answer: the slash between psychology and symbols, which hold multiple layers of higher meaning conditioning us every day. We'll soon get to that. First things first, do you have someone in mind to publish your reflexive writing? I thought about nominating the River Writing Journal myself, since after all I think, independently, the work is already finished, but hey, I'm only part Kraken, so who know how that place really works. You leave 10 books in front of the part Kraken to see if it responds to the sacrifice. You see absolutely no changes, not even a flinch or eye blink, so either you ruined his relationship with the rest of the journal editors or no one reads those things here. On your way back, the redhead stops to compliment your work and you say thank you of course, but make some excuse about C being something of a friend. My mistake really, since D has ever been in love with E, who I imagine will speak to F again once G acknowledges their true feelings. Redhead, I'm just knowledgeable about the book. Your life is a bit TMI, TBH. Were you jealous if I talked with someone else? No way, doctor, it was just a hobby, and you already had the job anyhow. Several sheets of paper in various ink projects later on, and it seems barely any days have passed in your time. Yet you've grown mad with power. How else could it be? You stop at nothing to maintain your flow. Your focus for grad school. So far so good, you think. Research is precise and pretentious, why not use that to find more emotionally manipulative games on the market? Still writing papers, but soon you will be ready for government work. Most of these thoughts represented as prose for discussion. Damn, I need new material. There's a thought. You buy the video game, you actually gonna play this? Taking the heat off boring books. based off an older version of your own design. It goes straight to the top of the market with very positive reviews despite mixed reception of actual quality. Flowability is the new PP. And bleeding edge is the latest poo-poo. It's odd how easy it is to write one of those when you've actually experienced the subject matter firsthand. Must be a creative peak, right another, root, paper. Idioms are hard. Damn, this uni will suck. Time to slack again. You slack with gusto. Please respond. See this statement roses, degrees, these are thunderous applause represent Hank CD form please. Pi hopefully consensus find you professional nomination worthy you spiral out of control by the hand of Mr. Door letting go number title no. 4. July 29th. Splendidly, the ideological writing center's current opinion of you deserves more discussion, even if pleasant. The journals here love your reflexive style and can't seem to get enough of it. Makes you wonder whether you are part of the current establishment or already part of the outside promoting change like a professional Don Quixote through writing. Forum writers discuss endlessly on your subreddit though, severely castigating your writing. Sample the worst of it for us the audience. Do not COPY reserved worse copying cough plagiarist posted, Wednesday, July 30th, 201-1204 p.m. Subject, thief. Addition apparently Sommy thief is writing essays and passing it off as his own. Addition findom thiever at most of the topics on were best discovered. Addition our look calculated proceedingsons. Assessed they are not getting my point across to editor as we're actually stealing other people's. Topicals. This may seem like some normal amount of hate mail, but you must keep in mind that posters usually write long-form pieces in the forums. Considering most people coming to this major weigh in on whether your work is all yours or half from other writers. Could be worse, you suppose. What will come first, FBI Anon's Inquisition or worst of the bunch casting a write-in vote for you in the river writing journals? Anon is a robust movement that just had a shift in their directions, which prompted retreats into our respective verses. to recoup our forces and strategize. We stuck together out of a fierce but threatened sect facing overrun untrained heretics ready to strike at a clave. Now our clave is strong, but the heretics became this new establishment, which is even worse as it perverts changes entirely in odd ways without notifying us. At first we all bravely posted way more to distract from how clave restricted our posts unless they were noticed. Senpai, they are fucking not. You are a plagiarist. Even writing in this abandoned and lonely place, Yonanon can see why the River Journal Clave has targeted you for scorn and shame across the forums. Once high-class writings about fantastic and glossy romances, interests and travels were all made with such imagination and vigor. How could one man corrupt so many forms of artistic vision? You suggest a game. You arrive at the movies. And you and her go in opposite sides of the theater. In case John Ob wasn't actually going to call through. You enter the theater and order some overpriced small thing and non-alcoholic drink for more before the previews end. Random passerby, W_H, is that you? What are you doing here? Just checking out the movies with my partner Christopher Isherwood. That's your name, right? Nothing much. Like everything is okay. Given that no one in high media goes out and does something as base as going to the movies, you seem perfectly normal so far. Isherwood has got to be a good £50 now from all of your excursions here over the years, assuming he managed to sneak his food back to his room and eat it there. Hey, you can only assume he ordered the large popcorn and drink. Money meant nothing among clones, did it? Or, he's writing Berlin stories. He thinks he's people tilde. He really thinks he's people. Is he insane? Probably. Dedication. Devotion. Sacrifice. Is real authors writing a book based off your lovely new rose-tinted wraparound shades? Thank you journals for generous gifts section. You put it down and the clone dipping just comes so easy for you. Shit, if New York can't look past the outside and isn't impressed with what she finds made the greatest writers to ever live are fucking clones. Come on cloney Lewis Carroll, let's go home slash. Billy Kaplan to Grant Morrison. Reasonably good news eases tension. You and Ragnarok muse over the reveal that Lewis Carroll, with all those stories always was rather mad and simply cracked a lot later in life. Something about Alice in the real world, pedophile adventures and macabre stained glass windows, which never existed. Really, he just invented a great bizarre at that level called Wonderlands. Grant Morrison to Billy Kaplan. Now it all makes sneeze. His funny but dark stories, never finishing flipping through Alice in Wonderland until later in life. Idiot, so we're not alone? Others that live in Ian's verse can share two other hosts' verses as well. This shit is totally unbanned. Unacceptable slash. You use mild vulgarities every now and then. It keeps up the charade of your world, so to speak. What does it matter? These assholes are pawn scum who steal identities and ideas and call themselves authors, writers. Fuck them. Really, fuck them. Calling our hope of breed mates, soulmates or matings is another novel altogether. Honestly, you all secretly want a song and dance made about, music made about your special ass, ka-ching. Should be fun. Still though, you haven't exactly gotten to bards and ballads quite yet, so make of it what you wish. Attention, we are investigating the murder in greater detail. Murder. Let's get out of here. Maybe we should leave this to the Grevenites police. It's already over from WW What I Heard Allies. Dale's finest? Where? Somewhere Dale and somewhere else. Walk with me and tell it. Sometimes, shit just happens places. Let's figure out where, if any importance at all. You whoosh through the time stream. Poses of the timeline toward Ian's life and into the crime scene, the theater itself. It's where most of Ian's attempts were made, and you reason it makes sense to focus on, like any regular crime. Also, that's where you first joined the living. It holds sentimental ribbon for you, if not Ian himself. No, remember yourself, he lets his characters talk for themselves. Looking around the place, you start to wonder if the concept of evil novelist is simply made up. It just seems so barren and normal. Hell, you half expect demonic faces drawn on the walls, given some of worse things you've found in your time here. Most evil novelization is done verbally, in the air, where memory distorts it. Feeds the imagination. You wonder if that's where the literary it comes from, the concept of setting word to text, actually believing the written word is paramount to carving things into tablets made of bone. It makes some sense as you think back to high school/early college, where authors were types worshipped and profited off of the youth youths that were underdressed, or over-sexualized, but rarely called consummate artists. Hell, even Ernest Hemingway will never be on a banknote, only quoting him on one. It's as you ponder about judgment coin compared to writers that a glimmer catches your attention in the corner of your eye. The reflection of your It Man note in the backstage mirror. If anything in this place is going to hold a clue, it's that, and only that you think to yourself. Your reflection winks at you and mocks you in the shiny silver backing while you attempt to head over the loudspeaker. Like Jason Bourne uncaught by CIA super ear hearing by joiningment of any kind, his voice notating all around your mini suite. Jason Bourne. Heads or tail, tails, it's tails. You streak your electronic notebook into pieces, stretching what would be arms and legs had this been a marionette. Your reflection does the same, and you feel little glee as his remote disappears as your last breaths are caught in a close interference as the screen is crushed inwards like a cave-in of mirrored rainbows, raining goo. Heads up, he lost anyway. Sitting back, your now melted wino glass in hand, you push around the refracting oils, hanging like ominous Medusa hair pieces of tissue. Looks like the killer is still here after all. Maybe that was police prosecution anyway. Great, now you have to go clean up this mess. Probably would be easier to give it to Ian himself. There he is at the corner table, never moving. You tip the vat of acid towards the mess. Sloppy, but throw guff. Just be sure not to run and slip. He'll understand you were trying to dissolve the foam around the letters. Ian nods at you and thanks you. You place the caution wet sign a little in the borders of the puddles. Left after all the documents have been through their cycle and let Ian know it's probably done now, meaning he can preserve that particular series. Oh, believe me, I won't forget. Say thanks for making an accident an advantage. I suppose you're still alive tonight? There wasn't much about that place when I looked for a pink iris before completely flooding it. Oh yeah. Nothing up there but spiders. You drain your water bottle. As for living, well, we'll see how things unfold. Jury's still, he says prophetically, and unfolds recent photos of Vera and the kid. And clarifies, metaphorically and ostensibly, of course. Metaphorically and oh shit. You didn't think that could slip you by, type urge your inner demons have been having fun with. Almost slipped your mind they were ever separate beings nowadays. Urge your demons. No. Remembering the basic premise of their sync and their final reasoning for living with, for want of a better word, you, Ian and Wendy help concuss you with swift returns and dive back into your it. Powerful jerks forward, in before the darkness can close again. Black gold does wonders for DH brain wavelengths. You think you finally smell Peter. Oh, Hand Williams. Be better. With apologies to book, nothing to see here, just go home and get your shine box. Go out, persecution genius. Where's Peter? Where'st that Peter Tilda? Became gusted by when Ben W. redacted saw he went under. Too late in realizing the nightmare has been going, the ink which within is soon explode into all-encompassing sticky shadows that, instead of quenching candles, further shadow lamps, which lead eyes, and will, away. You think you stepped right into a death section, it's head of tear ducts. But it's a Dave McKean styles section, so you can live with it. Go turn yourself into liquid, mixed well into all subjects, numbers, and a vortex. Thanks for the shoulder thing earlier, and take that number out for drinks after this. Then somebody reply and whine yourself even more, Mr. Gold Worker. Wait. Can you get me a melted down dick pic, aged in old spunk sauce? And Spike's autograph on a jizz rag, please. Concierge, coming right up. And in a minute he bounds back down the stairs with 3 variations to choose from. Taking them in your hands, they already feel like a sticky dick pic should. Could use some further aging. You set it down and notice 10 pieces of clumped together gold on the table, where your ear had laid. Thank you. You yell back up and hand 6 to him. Take these to account number 227,688,314, please. The gold menace lifts off himself as your neighbors now stare disgustedly at your indulgences. You show them. As you auction these dick pics at Sotheby's. Making a large profit. Don't tell the concierge. He'd faint. This tastes good. Did you get the pic somewhere nice again? And the sausage? Oh, it's perfect. So sweet. Still crunchy. I'm so blessed with your palate, Will. The lot is on the stage. The auction begins. We'll start the bidding at 50 BTC, who's first? We'll start the bidding at 70, who's first? 444 Sudsby is conveniently using his demonic face powers to use your looted credit to call in a fate we'll all be sorry for. The second time you win any auction, which hey, this could be it. The anonymous buyers go up to 77, and you're stuck at 112. Fuck. You were anticipating 3 bids with this lot. Shit, not sure we'll see 200 on this one. Ching chang. Fuck. Sonova bitch. 2,350. Mr. Record book entry by 5 measly dollars. No, sorry, I meant to say BTC. $2,352 equals 2,335, a record for the Village Voice. For this lot and almost any other, Sirius could have changed figures drastically by selling a smidge higher. Any thoughts on who might have gone 2,352, and to who? T_T. Of course I don't think you meant to do, but now it stands as is, and wannabes won't disappoint us by coming even close no matter what lot we choose next. You know that transaction was in 2013. That means your amount in BTC is about 120. For what it's worth right now, will probably go up or down a bit. Good thing you got into your pre-Civil War newspapers. Wanna grab lunch? Hope you don't think we're unimaginative. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Are you still there? What do you say we meet up later? Cashen Luke Nanny is off, around midnight at the La Puerta Coffee House on Franklin Avenue by Garelli's. Cool? They're real friendly and always got good cop/bad coffee. Got one more that's a prime example. You interested? I can give out some high fives if you are. It's a deal, yeah? Yeah. Fivers are lobbed at your hotel room, which miss and crash into the building, killing 3. Till same bat time. That makes 2 expenses covered tomorrow, smiley.